Vandaag gaan we naar Natif Ha Asara. Dat is een dorp wat het dichtst bij de Gaza-grens ligt. Eigenlijk er tegenaan. We hebben daar een interview met het hoofd van de security, van de veiligheid. Het zal een interessant gesprek worden.
We are standing here with near the border, the closest place to get to the Gaza border, and we are standing with a security man named.
My name is Ziv. Family name is.
How long do you live here?
I live here almost 20 years.
How was the situation 20 years ago?
Well, it was completely different. I remember me as a young boy. My father had a greenhouse, and the workers were from the other side, from Bet Hanun that we can see from here. And I remember me as a young guy take those workers into their houses, sitting with them, drink tea with them. We also have one of the workers still calling to my father and speak with him about the situation and how bad it is, and how much he was like that everything will come back to the years before, but both of the sides know that it can't possible.
It's not possible.
Not possible.
And what is your function?
What is?
Your function. What are you doing?
Well, I'm the head of security in this place since the last 6 years. And actually, I'm in charge of all security inside the Natif Ha Asara.
Okay. We are talking about the security. I have several questions. I have seen Zeppelins. Mm-hmm. I've seen drones. Mm-hmm. I've seen that automatic.
Right.
And first of all, what are you doing with drones? What are you doing that?
The drones are actually protecting the area. They almost 24 hours a day stay around us, and they can watch into Gaza. And if something happens, they also can shoot the missiles into Gaza. Okay. So it's one of the best weapons that can protect us against anything that can comes over us. The last few months we have lots of small drones that the other side is sending over here, and part of it we can shooting down, but most of them are so small, so they're going back, and it's very hard to take care of it.
And what are doing the Zeppelins? What are they doing?
The small distance between the border and the villages around the Gaza Strip, most of the Zeppelin and the other cameras are around, are taking, looking inside Gaza, and actually warning if something getting close to the border, and if something getting dangerous. Okay. So they give us the alarm.
But I heard also about a wall very deep in the ground. Yeah. What's that?
Right. Well, Israel is building a new underground wall around all Gaza Strip, which will be protecting, when it will be finished, against all the threat of the tunnels that busy us very much. That wall is actually a cement wall that going to deep between 20 to 80 meters.
80?
Between 20 to 80, it depends where.
Wow.
Here where we're standing, because we're standing on a high place, it's going to be almost 80 meters deep to the ground. Near the sea, it's going to be a little bit less, because there's water under the ground, so it's all depend which area. But yeah, this project cost billions of shekels, and it's supposed to be finished in the end of in the end of the next year.
Sure.
And that's make to the people who live there a big hope that after that we gonna be at least from the protecting from the tunnels.
Israel wants to strengthen its border along the Gaza Strip, and militant group Hamas isn't happy about it. Israel's border is already pretty secure on the surface, but the Israel Defense Force is building an underground barrier to block Hamas's tunnels into the country. Hamas used underground tunnels during the war in 2014 to sneak up on Israeli soldiers. Since Israeli forces learned about the tunnels, they've tried to destroy them. According to local media, Hamas said Israel's underground barrier is an act of war. An Israeli military official told reporters if Hamas chooses to go to war over the barrier, it will be a worthy reason for Israel to go to war over. But the barrier will be built. The sensor-equipped wall will cost Israel over $1 billion, and the country says it hopes to complete it within 2 years.
About the Iron Dome, what are the costs?
The missiles are very expensive. I'm not sure that each missile costs around $50,000 US dollars. And this is a heavy money. Just if we can just take, for example, the last round of violence, there was 500 missiles has been shooting from the Gaza to Israel. Almost 100 of them was taken down by the Iron Dome. But to get one of those rockets, sometimes you have to shoot 2 or 3 missiles on each rocket. So just take this amount of missiles and put it into money. It costs millions.
I've traveled to Ashkelon, the coastal city just south of Tel Aviv that nudges up against the Gaza Strip.
What we're seeing here right now is the launcher. Each launcher has 20 missiles on it. You can see the red light flashing, which means it's armed and ready.
Here, one of the dozen or so Iron Dome batteries sits at the ready to intercept missiles and provide Israel with a type of shield from aerial attacks. It took just 3 years and about $200 million to develop this defense system. It relies on a radar that instantly detects when a missile has been fired. Algorithms quickly try to determine what type of projectile is in the air and whether it's heading for a populated or strategic area. If so, Iron Dome launches a missile of its own. It's said that Iron Dome has taken down more than 1,000 missiles since it turned on in 2011, with a 90% success rate. Some people question the accuracy of these figures. What's clear, though, is that the algorithms capable of directing projectiles while performing a cost-benefit analysis on human life are among the most advanced in the world. This network of launchers is highly mobile and constantly on the move. This site, like many, is temporary.
Everything you see here can be moved out in a matter of hours. And we move around a lot to make sure nobody knows where we are all the time.
Unless you live here, it's difficult to imagine just how much this technology has transformed the lives of ordinary Israelis.
I can tell you from my own personal experience, sitting in my own house and seeing rockets fired towards my house and operating this incredible system and succeeding. With the Iron Dome, when you see your house that you're protecting and your family and your friends and your soldiers, it's a sense of great sense of pride.
For many Palestinians, Iron Dome means something else. It's just the most visible part of an expansive Israeli security apparatus that includes drones, checkpoints, and espionage technology. Those tools have been put to immediate use in the West Bank, Gaza, and throughout Israel. Terrorist bombings have declined. Missiles have met their match. But lower tech forms of protest, like stabbings, are now on the rise.
Could they handle the rain of rockets?
Well, I don't know. We saw that the Iron Dome cannot take everything. It took more than 80% of the rockets. But when it's going into cities, populate cities, and the rockets falling into the cities, so we can see that the rockets can hit houses and can make damages and also take lives.
I have also heard that they are for the long distance they use rockets, and for the short distance mortars. Is that correct?
Right, that's correct. We had one of the houses right here near the wall. Is get one mortar directly hit by a mortar. It's hit just the shelter, so nothing happened. But yeah, they can hit this area by mortars.
Yeah, because a mortar can jump over the wall.
Right. They can shooting very closely. We have the alert for it, but the Iron Dome is not hit those mortars.
That's correct. How about your personal? How do you handle this? Is it a big responsibility on your shoulders?
It is a big responsibility. It's also not very easy to do it for long terms. I'm doing it for 6 years already. It's take you a big personal price from your family, and it's not easy. It's also you get tired of it, but that's the job. It's not you can decide to stay or leave, but this is the job. It can be very intensive for a few hours, and then for the next hours it stopped completely, and you have to make yourself ready to this situation all the time, but it's okay.
Is it difficult to make the switch from stress
it's
and
very
then back?
difficult. It's actually not possible to do so. It takes you at least 2 to 3 days to get relaxed and go to a normal life. Even if we say that we are also in normal life. Your adrenaline is very high. You are in very tense. You have to be very ready, and then in a second minutes, everything is quiet like now.
Do you have personal also traumas of it? Or in your family?
I don't know, but inside my family, I have one daughter that taken care by the professional people for a long time, for long years. And actually, she preferred to leave this place and live in a different place during those times. So we had to rent her a special place. She can stay there, and she can be safe there during that time. We didn't like to do so much, but we couldn't resist her request, because we thought we see that she's very afraid and she's really suffered.
When there is a rocket alert, are you going in the shelter or are you going out?
When my family go into a shelter, I'm going out to see that everything is okay. It's actually not normal that during those rockets I'm going out instead of staying into the shelter.
We just a few minutes ago we had 2 boom boom, and you said on the wall, which we can show to the people, is they can shoot from a distance. Is that right?
Yeah, well, actually they can shoot from distance. We had few cases that even the snipers from the other side shoot into the moshav. Even one of the bullets hit my house, and yes, it's possible. Well, there's a lots of equipment over here that the Israeli army use against people who came close to the wall. For example, we have a special windows inside the wall that can be opened if it's needed, and sniper can watch to the other side and do their jobs if they need.
What's happening here?
Okay, 2 weeks ago, Friday night, 7 o'clock, we got a call from the army that they saw that seeing one guy who crossing the border, and he's running into our agriculture area, and they asked us to come very quick over here to see if we can stop him before something will happen, because we also have Thai workers who staying here and they didn't know if he arms or not arms. So I quickly take my son, who is in the איך אומרים, כיתת כוננות?
He was on his duty.
On his
He was doing duty in the army.
and we quickly come over here. And when we came, we saw this greenhouse start to burn. Start looking this guy around here, but we couldn't find him because everything was dark. And actually, when he got caught by the army, he was sitting on this tree, waiting to get caught. When they asked him why he did that, so he says that he wants to go into the prison in Israel, and we can guess why, because in Gaza situation is very bad. And if he will stay in the Israeli prison, then he can get 3 hot meals, a bed, and also education. So that's why he say he did that. But when it happened, we couldn't know if he's a terrorist or if he's something, if his meaning is different. But this is actually a terror. You see, these guys lost all his equipment that he organized for years. Machines, sprays, everything gone. If you bring insurance here, just try to explain insurance what was here and what was burned, and try to get this value of these things back to you. It's cost hundreds of thousands of shekels, and you will never get it back.
Never?
Never. We will get some of it, but you can't value it completely. You can't value it completely the value that
was burned.
Right. And also the plants inside, because the heat of the fire, you can see most of the plants are burned. they
See, they
die.
are yellow.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult.
And where is this person? In prison now?
At the moment he is in a prison. It was his 7th time that he is crossing over here. I meet him by myself 3 times.
How is that possible? How is that possible?
It is crazy, but
How is it possible to cross the border?
because it's not so difficult. It's actually a fence. They steps on this fence, and you see how close it is. It's take about 4 minutes to come from there to over here. So it's very easy.
Okay, is that the reason you wearing this machine gun?
Well, I'm as part of my duty, I'm actually going with my gun most of the day. That's one of the reasons, because you never know who is going to surprise you and where.
I have still one question. What's your personal dream?
My personal dream. Well, everybody will be happy to live quietly, and I think even with the nice neighbors. I hope one day it will be happen. It's not normal to live like that for so many years. But I think it will take at least few more good years until something will happen with the other side.
I thank you very much for this interview.
Sure.
So, toda raba.
בבקשה.